how my hatred for Afrocentrics has now led me down this rabbit hole, right? Now, I know people might think this might be crazy to hear, right? But I'm starting to think to myself that the migration of the birds, the migration of the Polynesian people may have came out of Egypt. That the first, that the first, that the Egyptians crossed to the Americas. They didn't stay very long in there because they were looking for this underworld. And I can explain all of this very easy because within Polynesia there is a place, an underworld place, which is what we call in Fiji. In West Polynesia, we look at the underworld as in Fiji, living in Fiji. Now, I know I might be explaining things that people may have no understanding what I'm talking about, but we have to understand that the Polynesians used two things to navigate the whole islands. One was the stars, two was birds. Okay, these are the two things we understand how the Polynesians found all the islands. But where did this knowledge come from, right? And I always say to myself that you have to look at the migration of the birds. And if you look at this one, where it says Easter Island to Gobiti Tepe, which is in the Middle East. But when I look at these carvings over here, do you know what I realize? Number one, all throughout the Americas, especially America, Polynesia, and Egypt, there is what you call in Middle East is that you see a lot of birds. Okay, you see a lot of birds. So there was a birdman cult within Easter Island and within wherever this country is, this land is. You just go look at it and find out. And another thing I found out, if you look at all these pictures, you'll see that they're holding a bag. Be a man holding a bag. Be someone. It doesn't matter, but you always see someone holding a bag. You know what the first thing that went in my head when I saw the bag? That was a sign that they were feeding these birds. Somehow they were feeding these birds and they were following them to find their destination, trying to find the underworld. This is what the people were looking for. They were trying to find the underworld that was so important to them back in the days. And then I went and typed out, is it possible for birds to migrate out of Africa into the Americas? Is it possible? And yes, it is. Okay, these are the birds right here. So I'm just putting this as evidence.
And striking
Okay,
appearance have made them a
right here.
fascinating addition to North America's diverse bird population.
And look where they go.
So next time you're out birding, keep an eye out for these unexpected guests.
Guess where these birds go, right?
Egyptian geese are captivating. But
to the Egyptian geese,
have you
right?
ever wondered just how they made their way to North America? These striking
North America. So what I'm trying to say is the Egyptians, or whoever they are, the Egyptians used the stars and they must have used birds. The first voyagers to use birds and to use the stars to find the Americas. This is what I believe.
birds, originally from
This is where the
Africa,
knowledge of
were
it came from.
introduced to the North American continent as ornamental birds. Over time, they escaped captivity and established breeding populations in the wild, thriving in
So
places such as Texas.
that's my first evidence, right? This is my second one right here. The migration of birds. You'll find the birds migrate out of Siberia to Greece as well. So it can go two ways where these birds come from. So this is my point of view now. After where I'm starting to find the true origins of where the Polynesians came from. The origins of the Polynesian people came from out of the Middle East and Egypt now. using the knowledge of the stars and birds, and trying to find the underworld. Okay, the underworld. If you go look up the son of Ra, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And this led them into the Americas, where you start finding all these mounds. It's exactly where this video was saying. Texas, Egypt. You know, they were right in Texas, right in the place where the mounds are, star mounds are. And from there, you see that they migrated up to, what do you call it, near California, wherever it is. And there was this two mixing of two races. You could say Asiatic and Cascoids. The intermixing of these two races, two ideas, whatever it may be. They created this union, this what you call Polynesian gene, and they ended up migrating out into Polynesia.